One love, Delta9 travelers. Welcome in to this special presentation. Listen, we have so many updates on what's going on with MV and a lot of things connected to it. We're going to hear from a lot of the persons affected in this tragic situation. And listen, before we even jump into the live, we want to say condolences to all of those affected, all of those who would have lost their loved ones, all of those who would have lost their family members on the MV Barima, right? Condolences to all of those persons and rising power to our everlasting energy, to the many, many brothers and sisters who would have lost their life in this tragedy. Now we have so many updates and so many headlines to get into Delta9 travelers. This is going to be a unique live presentation. And I'm just asking that as you come into the live presentation, please and thank you. It don't cost you nothing at all, buddy. Just thumbs up the live and help to send this one out into the algorithm, because we'll be getting into headlines that is covering a number of things like this. What we're looking at right there, I'm telling you, the on Mohamed toes again, making sure that he can stand and stand comfortably in his position as the opposition leader. Y'all know when Mohamed is out and about, or while he was out and about with the team today, dealing with a number of things that was going on in the Iron Punt area, because we can get into some details about Iron Punt as well right here. Well, they want to take the opportunity for running on the opposition leader. So much to come on that. We were just showing you a little piece with them by the gate, right? There's so much. And Team Win, get ready to call in, because we definitely want to hear your views on this continued, at this point, this continued bombardment of the leader of the opposition, as we can clearly see. And guess what? Not even the 29th as yet. But we heard this.
Mr. Chairman, the new vessel that is expected to come on stream would be the MV Malaysia, which is en route to Guyana. It has left Port Calcutta and it's coming to Guyana. That boat will service the Georgetown Region 1 route, making stops at Mabaruma, Marijuana, Port Kaituma. And that will replace the MV Barima and the MV Kimbia that presently traverse those routes.
So we get a chance to hear almost 3 years ago, we can get into them details. 3 years plus, allegedly, ago, that presentation there was done, right? And up to now, that boat that was already en route didn't come fast enough, seemingly, to replace everything that was going on with the MV Barima, as we heard the MP highlighting right there. And persons are calling for certain steps to be taken with that MP. We can get into them details on this live presentation as well. That was the state of the boat, Delta9 traveler. 87 years old. And look at the running it. What? When we get a chance to hear from the many persons affected, make sure that you keep them in your mind as we analyze the fact that this is the reality. And persons knew about it for a while, and they were conducting business in this manner. They were traversing back and forth, knowing that at any time it could be a crazy situation like the one that we're seeing now. We're hearing it's almost 100 persons, almost 1 100 persons, and we're going to get the most recent press conference coming in from the government right here live as well on Delta9 Media, because these are some of the things that persons are highlighting.
The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had to do with the tide. Please be advised that the MV Barima is licensed to carry 284 tons of cargo. The cargo manifest shows that we had 268 tons, way below the cargo load. Secondly, the MV Barima is licensed to carry 397 passengers.
And life jacket in my float on, no coast guard, nobody's out here, bro. I put it over the news, man. Call for help quick. The water very deep, bro. It's over 50 feet water, bro. Already on the team, they find the boat. All the life jacket in my float on, no coast guard, nobody's out here, bro. I put it over the news, man. Call for help quick. The water very deep, bro. It's over 50 feet water, bro.
The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had to do with the tide. Please.
So we get a chance to see some of the headlines that we're going to be getting into right now, Delta9 travelers. But we hear the MP say that it ain't got nothing to do with overload. It ain't got nothing to do with X, Y, and Z. And you know, we do it over here on Delta9 Media. We like make sure that we bring receipts to analyze exactly what's taking place. So we're going to hear from persons that were a part of this tragic situation. Tragic situation that went down in our country. Again, we want to say condolences to all the family and all the loved ones. Let's hear from our brothers and sisters directly affected, because if you listen to some people, I'm telling you, I don't know what to say about it. Big people like them, and you can't trust nothing what they say. You telling you? Let me hear what's going on.
Name?
Donald Modest.
Mr. Modest, can you tell me what occurred?
Yesterday we went on the boat and they overload the boat, right? Top middle and the bottom, ram it stops. And water get in the hatch and sink the boat. And the boat ended up turning. Before we left.
Hi sir, what's your name?
Donald Modest.
Mr. Modest, can you tell me what occurred?
Yesterday we went on the boat and they overload the boat, right? Top middle and the bottom, ram it stops. And water get in the hatch and sink the boat. And the boat ended up turning. Before we left, they was trying to get the boat off the sandbank because they parked the boat inside. And it's stuck up with the mud. And they had about 3/4 to an hour trying to get it off. And when they get it off, it started walking from one engine and they still go with it. They stop. You got the mechanic man walking in the engine and still forcing the boat to go.
So we're getting a chance to hear directly from persons that was a part of what taking place. I wonder if Minister Ejil had a chance to speak with our brother right here, because this was the account
The boat
that he
was
had.
not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had.
Well, I'm telling you, the survivors got a different conversation, and this is some of what they're saying.
I feel the boat must be black up somewhere or something, because right? I was sitting in the hammock and I saw the boat go like this. And then after I wait, and when it rolled over, watching it going back like this, but it keep going over. So what I did, I waited till when it raised up and I plunged. And the wave shy me back in the boat. So I had to just lose my bag and start fighting to catch it up. I catch it up, it sent me back again. 2 times I get through back. But I just relax, catch myself and start paddling, and I come up top. When I come up and I see the lights, I say praise God, and I start swimming. I hold on from 2 Venelin, 2 long Venelin, 4. Hold on under, then I watch to see a bottle, hold on in the bottle, and hold on in the gas bottle, and I hug the 2 together. And I get about 4 or 9 other people come, and we were on that. We met a girl with your baby, hold it, and that was it.
Thank you, sir.
And I came my last 1.8 because I had a lot of things, but I faked it, so they got it in the book. So the minister said, I'm going to get back. They're going to get on back for you. They give you 100,000. And they say, there's some kind of money for buy something, but they're sending me back. I'm a businessman. I don't live in environment, but I do business there. All my things gone now. Right? So if I ask that minister, if I could spend...
the Ministry of Social Protection?
I asked the minister if I could, the little 100,000 they give me, if I could go and buy my motorbike parts and all them things, my motorbike parts gone. And if I go back out there with the parts, it can make sense, because all my goods were the carrying up gone. Right? I even asked him if he can spend another day or 2, that the little fine money I could borrow something from my sister to spend on and buy something for work, because that whatever stocks are left of the days were gone.
Real rough times, right? Rough times for a lot of persons in Guyana right now.
Miss Elena Musami, can you tell me what occurred, what you understand? I understand you're a survivor, so can you just give me your account of what happened?
Yeah. This thing happened within seconds. This boat met a wave come and like this boat met a one camp, and right away they saw the water rushing. And the boat were well packed at the back with boats. So I had a wave baby with 6 other.
Another person that was on the boat themselves is saying this about the way that the boat was packed. Let me hear.
So the water rushing, and the boat were well packed at the back with boats. So I had a wave baby with 6 other kids. And the bags cover we down because this boat is no time. This boat taking me water and this back cover we down. I'm trying to grab them and baby, but the bags hanging out and all I have to do is fight for the life. I always tell them I couldn't see them all and don't come down. I'm trying to talk on top like make way for them. They really make it out. Really, and then I see after spray bags. And he said another lady fighting, so I guess she come hold on here. And that was it. 7 of them are last. 5 girls and 2 boys.
Five girls, 2 boys, 1 mother, having to deal with all of this trauma. We ask ourselves, why? How come things weren't put in place? How come 3 years plus and this boat can't come? How come all of these $1 trillion budgets and they're returning to Parliament asking for more money because they want to advance work faster, but it's more than 3 years and a casualty like this goes down? I wonder if we could say that there's some amount of negligence. Some amount of negligence, and we got to ask ourselves the level of negligence that's going on right here, because this thing is causing a lot of trauma throughout our country. And it could have been prevented, Delta9 travelers. This thing could have been prevented with the proper maintenance of the vessel. And by now, this 87-year-old vessel, 27, this vessel was done 27 years old when Guyana would have gotten independence to become a nation. Could you believe that? When this vessel came into service, Guyana didn't even exist as a country. And after we would have found oil and all of this conversation, one of the wealthiest nations, people come from all over the world, right? And they talk this, they talk that, they're talking about the great progress and everything under this government and this and that and the third. Now, hear the reality of our sister. 7 of our children gone. One of them literally ripped out of our hands, right? And then persons is telling you, hey, nothing wasn't overloaded and this, that, and the third, but it's another conversation. No, it's a whole other conversation. And it's sounding very similar to this big change that went down with the pool. And if the pool was clear, and if persons was in the pool, and this, that, and the third, because it sounds like a big switcheroo now. Because it's a different construct. We can get into these details, you know, as we listen to the accounts of the victims rising power to our everlasting energy and condolences to the family and the loved ones dealing with this trauma right now. I'm telling you, one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And every time something happens, if you analyze it, you could realize that some amount of corruption is at the part of it. Why? What 87-year-old vessel doing transporting all of that cargo and passengers? You don't know the journey is going to be a long one. And plus you're traveling around Iron Punt area, like if you know what Iron Punt is about. We can get into the details about Iron Punt, you know, right after we hear this account right here from persons dealing with the trauma right now.
With all the mixed information, they given what caused the boat. Next, you're going to hear they say Jumbie turn it over, because we still need factual things.
I'm telling you, a whole lot of mix up, come wrong, bring wrong. And I want you to realize, you know, is all we, the regular people in the street, is the ones with the tears on our faces, because we're hearing from MP Amansa that allegedly, you could believe that in the same region while all of this is going on, people get cocktail party and all kind of thing. Plus, so callous allegedly that they would post the pictures from the event, and then when they were scolded by right-thinking citizens, these were taken down. What's really going on? We're so cold that we think we got so much, and we got so much that persons are, you know, we stop caring about regular people. Let me hear this account coming in from our brothers and sisters dealing with the trauma, because this is what people telling me, you know.
The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had to do.
Where is your humanity, right? And then these same people is going to come around and try to tell you, hey, don't make it a political issue, because if you do that, you are the problem. Tell me a person with a conversation like this, you went on the vessel or nothing. You's not part of the problem too, sir. This is not a part of the problem that our country have. Politicians who are so disconnected from the very people that put them in these positions of power, that they would got a boat on the water running, looking like this, when we got $1 trillion budgets and they coming back for billions again. Plus we hearing a conversation like this.
Mr. Chairman, the new vessel that is expected to come on stream would be the MV Malaysia. which is en route to Guyana. It has left Port Calcutta and it's coming to Guyana. That boat will service the Georgetown Region 1 route, making stops at Mabaruma, Marijuana, Port Kaituma. And that will replace the MV Barima and the MV Kimbia that presently traverse those routes.
How could you trust them, buddy? How could you trust them again? 3 years. 3 years. Allegedly. Plus. Right? Since the conversation went down in the parliament, the same place where you can't talk about corruption, the same place where you can't talk about certain things connected to exposing what's really going on in the country. So what the progress there with these people in power? Where is the real progress going to be? You can't address the corruption. The taking the money and the doing all kind of thing with it. They ain't putting it in the places where it should go. And then the mixing around the numbers, well, we're hearing some of the numbers coming out now because persons are holding the foot to the fire and making sure that they stay on these headlines, keep them in the foreground so that they can't give you no 6 for 9 and tell you no stupidness. Please and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, it don't cost you nothing, you know. It is free. Thumbs up this live so that the world could understand what's going on in our country, you know. Because this thing is getting, man, listen, it's beyond out of control. It's been out of control. You understand? Let's get into these details right now, coming from persons directly affected.
One can sit here, but the weather report said the water was calm. And I could see them.
Yeah, I could see that too.
The water was calm.
Yeah,
so if they're manufacturing excuses.
Captain drunk,
Mark had 10 children, 10 children, 10 mouths to feed, and he was doing a trade on that boat and lost, and is missing.
The family does not need excuses, you need an explanation. What happened? And you need the truth. You don't twist the truth to make you feel good or to make the government feel good. You need the truth.
Me done is a single parent, I mean, my sister be a single parent, neither can be no punishment. Me got people do people go, so for my children pass me hand and go.
I can understand what you're going through. That's why you're here.
10 children this time in the Essequibo River. 10 children. You know, Pastor Welsh, sorry. Pastor Welsh, yeah. It's been over 24 hours, and we does not hear from the president nor the vice president, and we have a national tragedy.
No, the president
anywhere in the world, you could have say something. This is a major issue and not a statement from the president or the vice president at this time.
Screaming. Because when the boat can't, a lot of people was looking for their babies because they went to sleep on the ground and the baby just washed away. So they stuck looking for their baby, I stuck looking for the sky. Because we had to swim out of the island. You know, everybody was really fighting, hollering. Well, from the boat start to camp, everybody started hollering and screaming. Because when the boat can't, a lot of people was looking for their babies.
Thankful to God that happened. Yeah. No matter the life jacket, break my finger. Thank God. Okay. And we waiting for good answer for my sister-in-law, Sharon. I'm so thankful to God that had
Telling you, 10 children lost. Well, we hope at this point that, well, that's a slim to none chance, right, of finding a person until this time. But listen, you never know. But guess what? We're hearing the conversation about 10 children potentially losing their parent, and then we're hearing about one parent losing 7 of their children in a tragedy like we have not seen in Guyana. Notice, is not one ethnicity affected, you know. Is all of we dealing with the stress and the problem. All of we dealing with the foolishness that comes from corruption. All of we got to deal with the problems because of persons putting the hand in places that it shouldn't be, and dealing with the country in a way that we got to really question if they care, right? If they truly care about what's going on with our beautiful nation. Maybe hear some more accounts from persons on the ground.
About the boat giving a lot of problem. I think at one time the boat engine is born up at Kaitumo, and they had to send for mechanics and them stuff and repair it till it come back to Georgetown. Then the other day, I think he told us that some problem again the boat get. And my point is that I cannot understand within this government if you have a vessel going to the direction of where you got heavy sea at times and infit and fetching so many cargoes and so many passengers, and people's life is at risk with a vessel like that. That's why I will say there was no proper protocol. That's why I would say that's why the boat encountered that problem. There was no proper protocol. And my point is that at this moment, since this tragedy happened yesterday morning, there was no transport on harbor connect me as a father for my son, like telephone, calling and say, there's a tragedy concerning with your son as a crew member. I get message from my daughter, this was about 5:30 yesterday morning, that some boat end up capsized, and she sent some reports to me that she says she see that Edgel was talking. And when I read it, because my daughter was not fully well recognized that is the boat that my son on. So when I read and I see that it's MV Barima, I right away turn and tell my wife that's the boat that Ral on. And I right away I pick up myself early and I come down to Humana. And when I meet down there, there was a conference, but I didn't get to meet it, but the other conference, I was present there. And the reports them on the conference that Mr. Edgel keep one report state how many lives they find 15
We're hearing a whole lot of accounts coming in from persons directly affected, right? Guess what, Delta9 travelers? The number is up and on the screen. The hotline is open for all of the persons who would like to call in and give their views live right here, right now on Delta9 Media. Big up to all the frequent travelers, all the persons live with us for the first time. Who is in the chat with us right now? One love to all the moderators. I see PAs in the live. See a number of persons dropping comments. Big up to every person in the chat, all the frequent travelers. Carlisle, what's going on, buddy? Greetings. You're on to Delta9 Media Live. Same to you.
All the listeners and viewers. People come up there like, don't just log in, just go to the bottom.
Man.
Like, and share it, man.
Real thing, real thing.
You're not just a press.
Yeah,
bro.
The
lady, right? With the 7 kids, right? That you know.
Yes.
It's not your kids, 7 grandkids.
Okay.
7 grandkids, but
7 from one family. Nonetheless, you understand? You know that.
Because they recovered one of them twins for sure, but she didn't know.
Wow.
So 6 of them, one of them is alive.
Okay, well, look, that's good news. That is great news. At least one person would have gotten the opportunity, right, to still draw a breath. So we're happy to hear about that, in the sense that, yeah.
Right. But PVP is making this thing, them and the, what you call the vultures, the scavengers, I don't call them names today. They're making it a political game.
Yeah.
But when you making it a political game, and you are in the driver's seat, then you are in the hot seat, and you're only making yourself look stupid, dumb, and foolish, and you're only clowning out yourself.
I tell you.
Minister chill. You are talking like you was on this boat.
Yeah.
The first thing you read about the new ferry that was coming, the air ready. One of the new ferry they use on the celebration of the raising of the flag.
Yeah.
They have it already, but they're using it for their own use and purpose. That's the one, remember, when they transport all them people and minister and them who come for the celebration of the 60th? That was one of the ferry they used. You understand? But the ferry is where they tell people they are to tell this thing and then say that they are the other ferry park up. Bro, these people does not care about the citizen.
Disconnected.
Yes,
far from reality.
They don't care about Guyana. Can't you care about Guyana and not care? That show you care about the Chinese people.
You got to automatically.
You see?
Yeah.
Now they're talking about rescue and this and that. How could you rescue people when you had no helicopter in the air when you find out? They had no
lights because it was overnight. We don't forget that part. It's pitch black out there in the night time. Persons who see
that's why you need a helicopter with the spotlight to shine down in the river.
Exactly.
You have none of that.
Land of many waters and no equipment to facilitate a rescue overnight in Region 4 or in none of the regions apparently. Or it was in Region 4 and it couldn't get out there fast enough. Give them out.
Talking now. They get psychologists set up. Where? They say hospital. Which is hospital? You can't set up psychologists in a hospital. This is how these people don't think. Bro, first of all, they have on a time where the school closed. But some of these schools have made them a facility where people could go and get counsel.
Yeah.
The hospital that don't deal without their own little problem with these patients.
Yeah. Overwhelm them.
They have nothing, and I hear this one understand here before I go. A lot of people gonna come out and say they went to these hospitals and they find no psychologists there. And this whole thing here by now and weekend or next week gonna be a yesterday news to the PVP government. You understand?
That's if the people allow them. That's if persons allow them.
What they choose not to talk about anymore.
There's a way of looking at it.
It's about the people allowing them. It's what they choose, just like Adrian and all these other people that come out there, they don't talk to us now. If you talk about it on the internet, they're coming after you and you live in Guyana for cybercrime.
I'm telling you. Big up yourself.
I did listening.
As we analyze this thing, you could hear what the frequent travelers are saying about it. What do you think about the Delta9 travelers? Are you right-thinking Guyanese? We are the generation to make the change. We are the ones with our shoulders to the wheel right now. We got a choice, you know. We could pass this down to our children and the younger generations, or right now, we could deal with this and let the country move forward in a way that it should. Right? There's certain decisions that we got to make. Because as you clearly can see, some persons are not forthcoming with no true conversation about what's taking place because they're saying one thing, but persons that were a part of everything is saying something completely different to the conversation that they are presenting. Big up yourself, John, and thanks for being a part of this live presentation. John is saying, don't expect things to get better. I'm telling you, well, what should persons expect? Hi, Sen, one of our loyal channel members and a frequent traveler, is saying good evening to Delta9 and listeners. What a sorrowful day for Guyanese. I'm telling you, a sorrow-filled couple of days ahead, weeks ahead, and listen, lifetimes of trauma for a lot of Guyanese, because when you hear these numbers, Delta9 travelers, we're going to make sure we highlight it. We're going to highlight the information coming in from these press conferences, and we're going to do the maths and analyze what's taking place. Paulette, thanks for moderating. Thanks for tuning in to the live presentation. Paulette shouting out all the travelers and everyone here with us right now. Carlisle, a picture paints 1,000 words. I'm telling you. And a video, the video, Carlisle, right? Video information does give you so much more context, right? And we got a lot of video showcasing the situation that actually took place, so persons can see some of what the boat was experiencing, hear from persons directly affected, and analyze those that are in positions of power and the way allegedly they might be misrepresenting what's really taking place. Do you really feel like you can trust them? 179 believed aboard, 69 rescued, 27 bodies recovered. So let me do the maths. We got 179 total minus 69 that was rescued minus 27 that were recovered. Rising power to them. Condolences, condolences to the family, condolences to the loved ones. 27 already is the toll, right? And still nobody come out and really have no real conversation about this iron pond area and all of this. You know, we can get into that. We can get into the 83 still unaccounted for. 83. And who knows if there was stowaways? Who knows if there was a run-ins and people go on with extra ticket, or if you're a child sometimes, allegedly, sometimes you get on. It's 3 y'all, all right, give me this and carry them on. So sometimes the persons that are mostly unaccounted for might be young ones, right? I'm telling you, there's so many things for us to analyze about this situation, you know. But look at what we're seeing right there. 27 plus 83, that is 110 Delta9 travelers. 110. Right? And persons still coming around, bringing all kind of conversations and presenting in a manner as if people big and they ain't got no sense. Right? Let me analyze some more of what's coming directly from the persons that were affected. We want to hear too much conversations from those that trying to gaslight we and put us in a place where we can't really understand what's taking place in. We really want to get to the bottom of some of these details and keep them in the headlines, keep them to the forefront of the headlines so persons can't sweep them under the rug and in a couple of days try to bring another conversation around to cover up the real situation or to cover down the whole matter.
Children and the rest was adults. I think about 57 or 50 something adults. But anyway, apart from that, that was the only report that all the family and who was there receive, and after then when he leave and he come back, is actually the same report he come back with. It was nothing fresh. The only fresh that he come back and say is that ExxonMobil joined the rescue team and decide for work with a scanner to scan the river bottom or the ocean bottom so they could pick up anybody who floating or anybody who at the river bottom. And he told us that divers, he told us from since in the first conference in the morning that there are divers down there the evening that he come back to. When he was to come to 12, he come after 1, Minister 2, and give us the other conference. And he said that he said again that there are divers who out there.
Right? So there were divers out there looking to make sure that they can try their best to rescue and do everything that they can to assist with what's taking place. Right? But listen, MP Psycho Andrews and the APNU and a number of other persons in the opposition are saying it's time for these steps to be taken.
MV Barima tragedy. Ministers Edgel and Indar must resign. The PNCR APNU extends its deepest sympathy to the families who have lost loved ones and stand with every family still awaiting news of their loved ones. We commend the Coast Guard, medical teams, fisher folk, volunteers, and all responders for their tireless efforts during this difficult circumstance. The search for every missing person must remain the nation's immediate priority. As rescue and recovery efforts continue, the emerging facts point to serious and unacceptable failures. Minister Edgel's own admission already exposed systemic failure. The government cannot state with certainty how many persons were actually aboard because many rescued passengers were not recorded on the original manifest. They also cannot provide an accurate account of the cargo or tonnage on board the vessel. Lives have been lost and families remain in anguish. This is not a minor administrative lapse. It is the collapse of basic maritime oversight and control.
I'm telling you. By right, the MPs should come out and call for certain steps to be taken. And there's a poll that's up on the channel right now as we analyze just the toll that this is going to take on our nation. 100 plus persons by now, it seems, would have lost their life to this tragedy. Should Minister Edgel resign over the MP Barima ferry disaster? Yes, we had enough of this banner. No, it's political games. 26% are saying no, it's political games that persons are playing, calling for the MP to resign, given the fact that 120 persons would have lost their life in this manner that these headlines are painting this picture to us about. Like, listen, when you look and you get a chance to see how this boat has been moving around, this is the water and this is the boat, the rim of the boat and water going like this. and the boat going so. You know, overloaded. Should Minister Edgel resign over the MV Barima ferry disaster? Yes, we had enough of this banner. 75% is saying that. No, it's political games. 28% is saying it's political games. 72% is saying that, listen, it's time. Enough is enough. MP Psycho Andrews and other persons that are a part of the opposition are saying this.
Minister Juan Edgel rushed to blame a big wave and to dismiss overloading and mechanical concerns even before an independent investigation had established the cause. The Ministry of Public Works, through the Transport and Harbors Department, operate and maintain this vessel. Only in March, the ministry invited bids for a $125 million docking and overhaul of the MV Barima. The MV Barima being scheduled to be out of service is a critical issue that the government must address factually. It also forces an obvious question. Did the government make the correct repair or buy decisions regarding the 80-plus-year-old MV Barima? Another obvious question we are asking is this: could the MV Barima have encountered a failure on its ultimate journey? Minister Deodat Indar's Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation houses the MARAD, the maritime regulator. Just 1 month ago, Minister Indar warned that failed inspections can send vessels to sea and put lives at risk. He must now produce the MV Barima's inspection, seaworthiness, safety certification, crew fitness, and emergency readiness records.
Yeah, you can't come and tell me, oh, a crew member was found under the influence of this and under the influence of that. This, that, and the third about what's going on with the boat. Where are the records to show? Because if you get 8 to 7-year-old vessel, then even if you check it on Google right now, Google can tell you if you got a vessel that's that old, do not take it out into the open ocean without a full inspection and a very seaworthy crew. A crew will know what they're doing with a vessel that's that old, because it's big complications you can find yourself in. 100 plus persons, right? 100 plus. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Greetings, Delta. Sad day, the history of Guyana.
I'm telling you.
I know. Anyway, I got quite a few things that I want to highlight, so be patient with me and you can cut me off whenever you're ready. Firstly, this whole situation, what a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy. I think this is the worst that has ever happened in Guyana. I've never heard of something like this. Also, the disrespect. You know, the flags of Guyana, I think, they're still flying high, which I think should have been flown at half-mast in respect.
Yeah.
Right? There is something called a Tushao Council that's going on right now at the conference center. Arat Chakio is there with the Amerindian minister. And again, earlier you saw some pictures were circulating with her. She was having a dinner. They were hosting people.
Wow.
And they had alcohol, like Heineken beer and stuff on the table. The disrespect, my brother.
Cold, buddy. Just cold.
Yeah.
Cold-hearted. Right? They don't care, buddy. They don't care.
And again, with her, I mean, most of the people, quite of the people there died were Amerindian. The disrespect this woman shows, right? Be it whoever, I mean, this is a tragedy, and with whoever, show some respect.
Every time.
Look, yeah, Bharat never came out and said anything about this tragedy. Irfan Ali was missing in action, right? Where was Irfan? He came back to Guyana. He went out there now. And
Allegedly,
he's
FIFA
putting on
versus allegedly it was the finals, FIFA finals.
Yes.
Allegedly,
They're saying he was
allegedly.
in Canada. He was in Canada on a business trip. What's so secretive about this business trip? So you couldn't surface?
Listen, this
All of a
extension on
sudden,
the farm, probably allegedly.
yeah. All of a sudden, he surfaced back in, went to these areas and putting on a sad face. Bro, I'm telling you, this man should get a Grammy for his acting. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Telling you.
Right? You know, they have 3 helicopters. Out of the 3 helicopters, 2 of them not working. 2 helicopters, the GDF helicopters. They're saying they were brand new helicopters. How come 2 years, your brand new helicopter, they're 2 years old and they're not working, right? When they were buying those helicopters, Ramjatan said, he said there's a big crap going on. Those are not new helicopters.
He did, and then they say he's trying to slow down progress and this and that, and who's going to listen to Ramjatan and all kind of thing. But look, time is telling the tale, and our brother was right.
Exactly. And you know, this whole tragedy is killing them up more and more, bro. They could not, the manifest, they're saying they start with 160, it's at 179.
Wow.
There's so many, right, undocumented, they're saying the survivors they found, some of them name is not on the manifest, right?
Oh, man.
Again, whatever. You know, it goes to show everybody is hustling. You don't know if the people in the THC is hustling because, bro, the hustle starts from the top, what we are seeing so far. So everybody is hustling. It's a big hustle right now, right? And it starts on the top, bro. Look at what we're seeing. This farm gate, all of these things are coming out, right? So some of the people there you can't believe.
We didn't even come through the gate yet. We didn't even come through the gate yet, bro. We still dealing with the gate and this situation. We have to run back to the gate and go for deal with everything that's going on here. We gotta come back to the gate eventually, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the other thing we gotta watch. So you see that same bridge in Linden, the old bridge they have there? They better watch because the next thing you're gonna hear that bridge collapse.
Well, I hope
because
not,
the amount of stuff that's coming over that bridge, bro, right?
Yeah.
They're overworking that bridge, and you may hear about that stuff collapsing.
Because remember, that area is a major transit route, you know, and a lot of heavy cargo come through that area. A lot of timber and all of that stuff, a lot of sand and all of that stuff.
Exactly, you know, and also that according to Edgel, some MV, the T-shirt, this boat was supposed to replace the Barima. Where's the T-shirt, the vessel they bought? Right?
There's the question I was asking, and then how come that is not more than one of these vessels, and this old vessel wasn't completely taken out of circulation because, you know, 8 to 7 years, and then how come they weren't able to locate it all the time? And then you got an old boat traveling through Iron Punt, right? And Iron Punt is an area that is known. You know, I'm going to jump into that conversation about what's going on with Iron Punt right now as soon as this call is finished, because you know why? It's important that persons understand, you know, because listen, how you can get old boat traveling around in these areas in the night time and it doesn't have a locator on it and all kind of thing. It's crazy.
Right. Exactly. Also, bro, I mean, and the way Edge Hill is speaking, the guy is so arrogant, very, very arrogant. These guys should be humble and start forgetting, but the guy has got arrogance in him, man, right? And he called himself a bishop, for a man of God, to show this amount of disrespect to people who suffer, like people, this tragedy, very, very disrespectful.
Crazy.
You know, yesterday I was watching also a press conference. They were asking Mark Phillips, do we have enough people to take? He said, yes, Guyana have enough resources. They have 3 divers. You have 100 people missing and you have 3 divers? Trinidad offered to help them. I don't know what's going on with that. Now I saw they brought in a French crew, some French people, from French Guyana, whatever.
Yeah.
And you should see the photo ops. Irfan Ali is there shaking all of these guys' hands. While people, if you want to go look for survivors, listen, bro, go look for survivors first. And when you come back, you can shake the man hand.
Everything else, yeah.
Right? Thank you. You know, also people are saying, this is the time to reunite, and yeah, it is. But bro, the PPP, they have their own cronies, they have their own people. You know, people should start saying we should reunite and share the wealth. Not only in times of tragedy we unite, not only the time when Venezuela is threatening we reunite.
Exactly.
You know, we need to reunite now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll quick to finish up. And I'll tell you one thing. You know, and these guys in the PPP, bro, they have no respect. I saw a guy, his name is Peter Lewis, and I keep telling you about Peter Lewis. Last week, Friday, Peter Lewis had a post on his Facebook page, and you should see the amount of vehicles. This guy had some Ski-Doo, he had those vehicles you run on the trail, he had 80. You should see the amount, and you know what he posted? These are my new toys. My new toy. This guy is he gets a lot of contract from the PPP. He bought a brand new race car to race at that Grand Prix. A Mercedes, a full-out race car, was driven by a young kid from England. He won that race, so that raised his credit. But bro, these people are laughing in the face of the poor people in Guyana. All these oligarchs, they're laughing at the poor people in Guyana. I'm telling you, they're making a mock of the poor people in Guyana, bro. Right? And the very last one here, I saw last week also, Conan Marshall.
Yeah, highlighted.
Yes, the Chinese. And I told you last week, I said, you know, somebody posted the Chinese are starting to sell vegetables and stuff.
Yes.
And I now on it.
I'm sorry, but I don't give disrespect here, play, man. And that brother will be very disrespectful to a lot of people, so I didn't show it. But I know what you're talking about.
So about 7 greenhouse, those houses, bro. They're producing greens and vegetables like crazy. So now they can go and compete with the Guyanese.
Well, I tell you this, bro. Guyanese need to be wise and realize that if a person don't care about you, you gotta be very skeptical about eating from them. You understand? So persons should proceed at their own risk with that. And they should buy local and buy from the persons that were there, making sure that, you know, they provided these necessaries in the time when persons wasn't thinking about doing nothing like the farming or producing nothing in Guyana. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Yeah, so the stuff that's going on, bro, is so terrible. The disrespect, I'm telling you, man. You know, and I there's another guy I looked at, him is Candace James, and he was talking, and they're saying people said come out and protest. He said, bro, you know, in order to do a protest, you have to get a permission. To get a permission, you have to get a permission from the Home Affairs Minister, right? I mean, if you go to protest otherwise, they can lock you up.
And if you wear a mask, it's extra years connected to your charge because they can see that it's then aggravated. All of these things, they are already put in place, buddy, and it's dark when we think about the reality that a lot of our brothers and sisters got to live on. Big up yourself and thanks for calling in and sharing these insights with us right here on Delta9 Media Live. I'm telling you, there's so many things for us to understand about what's taking place right here. Let's get into these details about this whole iron punt area. When you say iron punt, when I was putting in the headline, they say if I put iron punt, person's gonna think the boat was founded, but like they find the boat in a punt. How the boat end up in a punt? No, the area is called iron punt. Let me hear these details about iron punt and what's usually happen in that area. And if all of this was going down, persons should have had a locator beacon on this vessel so that they would have known, oh shucks, the boat gone down over there. But we hear persons were talking that, look, there was already a rescue team and they get them off of whatever they were stuck on. But then tragedy struck. Let me hear about Iron Punt.
This is not the first boat that ever sank at Iron Punt, right? For some of y'all who don't know, right? Iron Punt is a place that the most trawlers sink right there, right? You know how much boats sink at Iron Punt? I don't know how it is that they're reaching there, but from the time you reach there, you don't escape there. Everything will reach there, they sink. Let me tell you about Iron Pond, right? You see this right now. I could share a lot of things with y'all from my experience. You understand? Now, 2015, I didn't go into Port Kaitumo for do business, and I fall in a tragedy right at Iron Pond where I closed down all Chimney stores, and it sink at Iron Pond in a boat. You understand? Now, I get a warning early that the boat break down and come and take off your goods. I said, man, you fix your boat come in here because it's too much of goods. It's like about 5 cans a load of goods. Right? About 5 cans a load. So, I didn't able to all the fatigue to take off back goods. I tell them when the boat don't fix, then I tell me. So, the people want me to tell me come and collect me goods, but I never hear. In any way, it was me and my son then going to Port Kaitumo for do business. It happened so that we pack everything for the boat. My son was to go for the boat, but the people say, man, the boat fully can't go. He got to go wrong. So me and he fly wrong with the plane. He put all the clothes, everything on the boat, and we decided to fly wrong. When we fly wrong, there's a story I tell you all when they're in a hotel, and I get a call that the boat sink. You understand? And from there was an adventurous life for me. But let me tell you all something, right? You see, Iron Pond, I want the government again to pass this message on to them, right? You see, Iron Pond, you got to do something with the area, you know. It's ideal put a sign showing you that certain amount of feet or mile I stay away from this area because this area got a lot of wreck. You know how much wreck there right there? Rail wrecks there down there. Nothing sink right there. You understand? So that is always happen at Iron Pond. The boat is gone like it is ground upon them thing, and I don't know thing with ignorance and passion, and put it on a boat for go away to Port Kaitumo for do business, and everything lasts. Not no easy money I last. Who know it could tell you all. This way part all me mother go down in life. You hear what I'm telling you? Because I had liquid cash. 17 point something million why they going down in the interior for start doing a little business, a little buy and sell gold. I could talk now. You understand? And I'll go down because you know why? It Miss Stupidity caused me from letting money go down because I didn't want to carry to the airport because I didn't want to see the amount of money. And I decided to put it in clothes and wrap it up with my other rest of goods them, I'll go down. You understand? I lost everything I had in life one time with this by the same Iron Pond. Because when the boat sink, here I tell y'all, I did in the hotel and get the news. And a couple of days I hear boxes that still in Essequibo floating. All my goods there all over floating. You know how much money people find? Who find it? Find a lot of money because the things that went in the box was slippers. It had clothes in some of the box. The money was wrapped up between the clothes mostly, but it's tape up and tape so much. The boxes them got to float. It had to float. You understand? Because it was clothes and slippers and tape up together. It had to float. So whosoever find these boxes in the Essequibo River floating, they find a lot of money. They find a treasure. This was match me life and cripple me. You understand? And make like I couldn't catch back myself. I was actually a madman. I was stressed so much and all the amount of fatigue I got through. Because I left in Port Kaitumo. There's how some people know me in Port Kaitumo. I left in Port Kaitumo stranded because I had nowhere to go. That when I get put out the hotel and I get put out, the only thing I could do was camp on the road. And from there is why I had to push me here. You understand? If I didn't have brains, I didn't know what would happen to me a day like today. So I last big time at Iron Pond. Captain Stop.
Says not now. Iron Pond causing losses. This is just one of the largest possibly on record and one of the most recent on record. You hear our brother giving us some history about the experience that he had in this same area. So now you got 87-year-old boat, right? This boat that runs since before Guyana existed on paper as a country, before the Treaty of Shabaramos and all of them things. Now, You got a vessel like this operating in this area. Where is the locator beacon so you could give them a warning? Hey, you're coming very close to this area, iron pond. Make sure that you divert and, you know, don't go this way, don't go that way, whatever the case might be. Because that being the case, all of this danger is just present all the time. And literally, hundreds of persons are at risk when they're traveling on this vessel, and this vessel has been in operation. Yeah, I hear the time already, people telling y'all that, listen, it wasn't overloaded, it didn't have no problems, this, that, and the third, but where is the proof to show that it was maintained how it should be maintained? Where is the proof to show that when it went out this last time, everything was checked and everything was sound? With the load too, because we know that, you know, allegedly there's a lot of run-ins taking place. What are the travelers saying right now? Is unity or else is more the same? More of the same, Delta9 travelers. Without unity, we goose cook. Is more or the same? More the same.
It's like Smith. I live in a 74 East Longville, house in Scale. Right? I have two brothers on top of that, the boat. One working in the canteen. I get the news that 67 persons are fine and they don't find me brothers them yet. So why know that I was asking people to see they could tell me about my brother, and I know they get a little satisfaction about my brothers there.
What are their names?
The name is Line Kendrick Court and Neil Court. This is the name of them. Kendrick Court and Neil Court. Work in the canteen. I never find them.
How old are they?
One is 53, one is 52, and one is 56.
What have you heard so far?
I had nothing. Just hearing they find 6 or 7 people, and from then it's just that. We just there coming in since yesterday, all day yesterday, night time, come this morning so early as possible, and get no word from them. And I just sitting down in there, nobody comes. It's so hurtful.
I'm telling you, very, very hurtful and traumatic. Unity or else more of the same. More of the same, Delta9 travelers. As we analyze what's taking place, again, we say condolences to the loved ones and the family members.
How is possible that they will call me today 5:30 o'clock morning for tell me that the president will be my Barima? And if it's possible for me, Mr. President, me da todo in the water. My daughter in the water, please. You don't want nothing else. Please take shells from the water. Yeah, we go back to Kaituma. Yeah, I take her with me to Kaituma. Please give me. Please, the only thing I want you give me my daughter body, please. Okay, she want me Kaituma. What? I go to my Barima. What? And my daughter in the water still. What you do in my Barima? My daughter in the water. So please help me, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, please. Take out my daughter from the water.
My. I'm telling you, as we go through the accounts of persons affected, because we can't trust what they're telling we. We can't trust what they're telling we, Delta9 travelers. We can't trust what they're telling we. They're coming with conversations that is not similar to persons that were there. And look at the trauma that persons are going through because of this. Big up to all the travelers that are live with us right now. If you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, on your way in to this live presentation, you should have already hit the thumbs up button. Just customary, cost you nothing. But if you haven't already, please and thank you. Help to send this video out into the algorithm so that as many persons will be able to see and understand the details to what went down on the MV Barima from persons that were actually there. Right? Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Delta, that video you just made with a young lady. What I know that?
Which video?
The one you just played before the one you just put up with the guy. The one with the girl with the pink top. Said she crying. But I don't get it. You look at the video clearly, and listen to her. Not a piece from side.
Well, I don't know.
It's like,
but what I understand from it is that she's asking for assistance with getting her daughter, rising power to her, and condolences, right? She's asking with assistance from whoever's in authority to help her to get her child so that she can take her to the rightful place for burial.
Right, but this is the thing what I've done with some Guyanese. That certain things when I look on video and certain things that presented.
Yeah.
Guyanese tends to make things to me, how she sounds. She don't sound credible that her daughter was here. Her crying look like an acting to me. Now Guyanese, they does this all the time.
Well, I don't know that
that's
the
what
case in this
that's what I asked the question.
She might just be traumatized beyond the point of, us understanding how she should interact with that kind of pain. You know, we can't really tell a mother how to really grieve for her child, you understand? Who knows?
Listen to me. When a mother is pain, they don't try and look like they're trying to squeeze eye water out there.
Well,
that's how she looks.
I wouldn't know because I don't usually.
I am not saying there, but I'm saying to her, if you know what you're doing is not right, don't do it. But if what you're doing is right and you're going through it, my condolences. But if you're trying to get likes, don't do it.
Okay.
It's a serious matter.
Serious,
you
very
understand?
serious.
That's all.
Big up yourself.
Right.
Yeah, different persons are gonna grieve differently, right? We don't know the way that she's gonna interpret and interact with this kind of trauma. This is a lot of pain, and she might be having her own situation right now. Maybe she might be dehydrated to the point of, she might have cried out most of her tears so far. To the point now it's just, it's just the emotion she can express for the loss that she's feeling. It's rough. And we want to always say, condolences to the loved ones and the family members because only they know how it feels right now to be going through this, right? Big up to all the travelers that are live with us. And guess what? Let's jump into some more of these details coming in from persons that were directly affected.
Three, two.
Somebody telling me your name?
Safraz Mohamed.
Who's missing for you?
My mother and stepfather.
So tell us, when you heard that this boat went down, what was But what was the feeling like?
It was a bad start of the day because I heard about the news early in the morning. I wake up about 5 morning and I see it on the phone. And then I contact all family, and then last night I reached over here.
So your parents were heading to Port Harcourt?
Yeah, then there's sell clothes and stuff. Then there's normally go on regular trips from Kaitoma to Tong.
So you were just expecting this was one of those normal?
Yeah, she called me around 3:30 the Saturday and tell me that they're leaving. And normally when she reach up there, or even when she start get signal in the creek, she just call and say, well, we need to reach. But I never get back no call.
These days, from Saturday night, how was the day?
Just, it's an ugly feeling, so just waiting and see what's gonna happen. We're gonna get him back or what.
How long your parents doing business in Port Kaitoma?
Yeah, about 5 years. Yeah.
How your other siblings and so on?
When my sister home, and she freaking out. She really freaking out.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy time, man, because I know that the way that this thing is gonna affect us, listen, we're yet to really understand. Because I can tell you, as a young Guyanese, I never experienced nothing like this for the time that I have been alive. And this is since we're talking from, I ain't there wrong too long, but long enough to know enough that this is going to affect us for a very, very long time. Very long time. Right? And it is something that should bring us together. It's something that should bring us to focus that the way that things are going in our country, the way that things are being done in our country needs to be adjusted. Certain things can't keep going down the way that they're going down, because we can expect more of this, You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Most of the persons that are subscribed to this platform are adults, right? And I know that right-thinking adults know that if you continue down the same path all the time and you're dealing with the same situations over and over again, then more than likely you're going to have to deal with situations coming from allowing this to happen. And this is what we're seeing right now, right? This is what we're seeing right now, because these vessels that are traversing in our nation, right? Are they being inspected? Is there another situation like this just waiting to happen? These are the things that we really got to analyze.
So it is a tough time, and I want to talk to us about our heart posture, because let me tell you, I am in no mood. I am in absolutely no mood to hear nonsense from the people who are responsible for the governance of this nation. But I don't want to go there yet, because we cannot let ourselves off the hook. Alicia Usman said Guyana is not safe for our children. If Guyana is not safe for our children, it is our fault. Because we are the ones that have to change it. And I am tired of telling us that ain't got nobody coming to save us. I'm tired of telling us that we can't outsource our struggle for a better Guyana. That if we are not willing to fight for ourselves and to fight for what is right, how are we asking other people to fight for us? And our children. Shanda, you talk about the lady with 7 children. 7 children. You understand what that is? It means that she wakes up today and reality is just so completely different from it was 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago. One little girl lost her mother, her father, her sister, her brother. She is literally alone from a family structure and unit to being alone in this world. And that's what we're dealing with. Y'all share life because I want people to come in here because I'm sitting and I'm supposed to be leaving my office and there's just this weight in my chest and I can't express enough just how pained I am. But we can't stop at pain. Onisia said we await Omarius Europe or in Europe and or in Europe. I saw you yesterday at the Umanayana.
One love, Delta9 travelers. Big up to everyone that's a part of the live right now. We're going through the Bermuda Triangle, apparently. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump into this right here as we analyze what's going on.
Test the captain and some other crew member, they found to have consumed marijuana because people claim, a lady claim, a survivor, that the crew was there drinking. When they said drinking, I don't think it's water.
Tell me if you can hear this coming through right now, Delta9 travelers. Let me know if you hear this video that I'm playing right now. If you can hear it, drop a 9 for me. Can you hear the video, Delta9 travelers? All right, you can't hear it clearly. All right, so this is what I'm going to do.
Unleash the best version of yourself with every goddess. Say goodbye to limitations and say hello to a better, stronger, healthier you.
Feet on soil, Guyana roots in my veins.
Sleepy is the only diaper brand in Guyana with such a wide range to choose from. We cater to all babies, from newborns all the way to stage 7. Our collection includes Sleepy New, Sleepy Sensitive, Sleepy Natural and Organic, Sleepy Night, and don't forget our fashion jeans. Most of all, they're available in both paste and pull-up styles. Sleepy, Guyana's #1 selling baby diaper, available at stores nationwide.
Increasing. I know you said based on investigations and footage and all of that. Is there a possibility of that 179 being even higher? That's my first question. And with regards to the captain who was tested positive for cannabis from marijuana being in his system. What exactly was that test done? Because if my memory serves me right, Minister Edger pointed out that after he was rescued, he went back out and was assisting with the rescue operation. So when exactly was that test done, bringing in that positive result? Was it before or after he assisted with the rescue operation? And finally, to the Minister of Human Services, very traumatic situation, lots of children. I've noticed some of the persons who were rescued have already been discharged and are back in their communities. What support is being offered to them in those communities? Do you have enough staff on the ground going into, and what long-term care will be offered?
Okay, you give me a mouthful there. So the first one?
The possibility of the number going higher.
I think we have narrowed the possibility of the number going up higher because the work done by the team that was put together, including the expert, a maritime expert, and senior staff from the Guyana Police Force, Guyana Defense Force, they really did a lot of work overnight. They collected a lot of information. They poured over that information, including the footage from the CCTV as the boat was loaded, and that has caused us to come up with a figure of 179. So I'm confident that, I'm not going to put my head on the block, but I'm confident that we have been, through the work, narrowed the figure down to 179. Okay, so there's not likelihood of it being larger than that because of the work that they did last evening. The next one.
The captain, when he was tested?
The captain was tested. The captain didn't go back out. The captain was rescued. He and the crew was tested yesterday morning as they were rescued and moved from the incident area to the to charity, and then they were tested right at the medical facility charity.
Minister Ejel did say that he was back out.
The mate went back out.
He said the captain too.
Well, if he said the captain, well, we have information now, and let us take this opportunity to update the information. The captain
was not back out.
The captain, we spoke to the captain while he was out with the Coast Guard. Once they brought him in to shore, he was tested with the other two crew members. The mate did not go to charity. He came to Georgetown with the Marad pilot, and he was tested.
Right, so during the processing, the Coast Guard took custody of the captain, like with everybody else, and they bring them in
and everything else.
They did a test.
Okay,
good.
Yeah, and the other question, I think, was for Minister Prasad.
Yes, I will ask Minister Prasad.
The support being offered.
Good.
So,
Sure.
There's one remaining by you.
Oh, sorry.
There are lots of families that would have lost children and survivors too who would have been found with children. So we are ensuring that wherever they are, that they would be catered for. From the moment that this exercise started, the Ministry of Human Services would have ensured that social workers, child protection officers were placed in all of the regions that would have been potentially affected, and also at other areas which would have included all of the command centers and the hospitals. Currently, and this would have started even before anything was discovered in terms of survivors or persons who were recovered. Now, what we are doing would have been enlarging those numbers of social workers and specifically adding to those teams, including persons who have been trained in grief and trauma-focused counseling, psychologists. We have also asked for the help of the Guyana Association of Professional Social Workers. So we have teams in Region 1. Those teams went in with Minister Sarah Brown, and we will be keeping those teams on the ground in Region 1 for as long as they are required. That will be complemented by staff we already have in Region 1. In Region 2, we are expanding the numbers, and they will continue to do the work that they have been doing. at the command center where I was at Guyana before coming here, we were working with families who would have discovered loved ones being rescued, including children, and we would have been working with them before that fact. Now we are also continuing to work with them post recovery and post rescue. So we are also offering family support. The plan is to continue this process for as long as is needed, because as you know, when there is grief and the way this has happened, this kind of tragedy, we have to give that kind of support long term, and we've committed to doing it now. Aside from the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, in terms of having our officers,
we're getting some of the updates coming in from the government right now as they highlight some of the services available for persons and the steps that will be taken. Delta9 travelers, they got a little bit of Bermuda Triangle turbulence that I'm dealing with on this side, you know. If you would notice that on my screen, for some reason, I don't know what's going on with the camera, but I don't want to have to restart this computer at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the remainder of this live without jumping on the camera, because I don't know, when I went out and I came back in, for some reason we got some amount of turbulence going on. But as long as you're hearing the presentation and you can hear clearly, then that's how we're going to complete this one, and then I'll try to get this sorted out in the back. We heard these details coming in from the government about the steps that are going to be taken, Delta9 travelers. What are your views about that? And don't forget that the poll is up on the channel right now, and you can partake in that so we could analyze and really realize what's taking place in front of our faces. And we're asking these questions so that we could understand, you know. We're trying to understand because we hear the MPs are calling for certain steps to be taken. What are your views, Delta9 travelers? Should Minister Edgell resign over the MV Barima ferry disaster? Yes, we had enough of this banner. 75% of the persons are saying yes, that's the honorable thing to do. That's the move that should be made, right? But then we got 25% is saying no, it's political games. I'm telling you, 75 versus 25. What are your views, Delta9 travelers? So many persons live with us right now. A whole lot of persons live in the chat. Big up yourself. Helen, thanks for tuning in. Giving us some insights about the sun Chapman and when it's sunk. Pick up yourself, and thanks for bringing those insights into the live presentation, Helen. Marcia saying the boat sunk in region 2, not 1. I see the 9s, that means I'm coming through clearly. Big up to PA, dropping insightful commentary into the comment section. As you can see, the poll is on the screen, Delta9 travelers. We're still going to get into these details as to what went down with the leader of the opposition. We're going to get that account. Team win if you're in the house. Drop the blue hearts in the comment section. We're getting into those details right now. Wonder why they're giving y'all such a fight. You can get some of the highlighted by Honorable Mr. Mohamed's sister and a number of other persons that was there dealing with this search that went down earlier. Could you believe they had more than 10 persons available to go and do a search on a property when you got more than 100 Guyanese right now unaccounted for? I'm telling you, sometimes I wonder about the priorities, but as we can see, people gonna prioritize things, you know, the way that they want. The lifespan of a steel hull vessel operating in salty water is 25 to 30 years. Wow. Wow. That's due to complete. Wow. even if they got a complete refurbishment or scraping, right? It's still almost 3 times the lifespan, right? That's crazy. Almost 3 times the lifespan, and this vessel is still operating. So you understand why persons are calling for resignation and a number of other things, right? We get some details right there from the government, but what are persons saying locally and internationally? Let's hear these details.
Y'all know we have a disaster in Guyana where this boat capsized and people are missing. Somebody found dead, some haven't been found. They don't know what's happened. They don't have a count to the amount of person who took that boat, but you know the boat was overloaded, right? Good. We also know the boat is a fucking old boat, right? Good. Guyanese, I am not a fan of Mohammed, okay? But I am a fan of truth, right, and justice for all. Now, since this incident happened, the president of Guyana was out of Guyana and he was actually doing his own stuff, right? Good. All right, all of them, listen to that part. He didn't know disaster was going to happen. He's not God. He wasn't there. It happened. But if you as the fucking president and you the out of your country and you hear your country get a disaster, the first thing you're supposed to do is pulling your speakers, get your thing in order, calling your people and come on live so that your fellow Guyanese who's going through the struggle at the moment know you're going through a fucking struggle and know that you're there with them until you get your son back into Guyana. Nothing from the fucking president of Guyana until he turn up in Guyana. Nothing from him, right? Now, the person who you've been seeing and hearing all the news from is this man Mohammed. Now, like I said before, I am not a fan of Mohammed. Okay? I'm not a fan of Mohammed. The person who has been jumping and trying to get some sort of answer, trying to find these people, is this man Mohammed, Azruddin Mohamed. Right? Good. You know what Guyana police them gonna do? Turn up at this man house, over 20-something police officer or more, I don't know. Turn up at this man yard now, right? Now they're looking for going dig into thing with the same man. The same man with up on the seat top trying to find fucking Guyanese. Guyanese, when you gonna wake up? I want to understand this, right? This shouldn't be nothing about fucking race because they get different race people who
Big up to all the travelers. This one got a bit too much of the expletives. So we're going to get into something else. Just so we keep the show, a bit Rasta Empress is saying good night, Delta9 Media, and to everyone traveling. It's a mournful Monday, telling you, and beyond prayers for my Guyana, condolences to the family and those that lost someone in this tragedy. Very thoughtful, and thanks for dropping those insights into the comment section, for being a moderator as well right here on Delta9 Media. Right, there's so much going on. So much going on with this right now, Delta9 travelers, as we analyze, because persons are asking the hard questions, and we hear what the answers are going to be. Because guess what? Guyana deserves to know. One love to everyone that's a part of the live right now.
Prime Minister, can you say what the relationship / communication between the government and the combined opposition is during this national tragedy? And there are a lot of comments, Minister Edgell, publicly calling for you to resign. This is a follow-up to Dennis's question. So I'll ask Prime Minister first if the government is taking any form of blame for what has taken place. And Minister Edgell, I'm asking you if you believe that the calls for you to resign are justified.
Let me answer all the questions.
Thank you.
Mr. Edgell was appointed by a president. In Guyana, when we go to elections, we vote for a president. And the president is the one who decides on his team, right? Who will comprise his team. Once he wins the election and he's sworn in as president, he decides who will be his team because he now has a mandate. He has a mandate to manage the affairs of the state of Guyana. So, yes, we hear the noise out there, but I can only, as the primary assistant to the president, I can assure you that the president has ears and he's hearing. But I want to also inform you and remind you that that decision lies with the president. None of us here cannot answer that. The president will have to decide whether he wants to change his team. As Prime Minister, I've been working with his team and we work well. We did it for one term, 5 years, and we're now in a second term with an increased or expanded mandate from the people of Guyana. This is an incident, and we are focused on managing this incident in the interest of all the people of Guyana, those who were looking on and those who were affected. So far, we've been able to rescue 6 to 9 of our people, right? And those who unfortunately have passed, we owe it to them and to their families to ensure that we handle the affairs in bringing closure to their families. Okay? I want to move on now.
No, Prime Minister, I asked 3 questions.
What's the other question you asked?
I asked you if the government takes any blame for what has taken place, and I also asked...
I answered that already.
No, you did not,
No, I answered in the sense that I said that an investigation, right? An independent body will be put together to investigate this whole incident, right? As a government, we want to be responsible as a government, and we want to make informed decisions, right? And that's why we will follow the rule of law. The rule of law dictates that we have an investigation. We put together an independent body and give them an opportunity to do their work, to pour over all the details, interview people, arrive at a report with the recommendations. So when the time comes, the government will accept that report and take action as they see fit in keeping with the recommendation.
I asked one other question which you did not answer. The other question is, what is the relationship / communication between the government and the combined opposition during this period of a national crisis?
We have an open communication. We're doing it right now. Everything that we say in here, the opposition is hearing. If the opposition choose to nitpick,
why is the PPP government and the Guyana
state, once they're not causing any physical harm or causing anybody to pick up any weapons or go down the street and harm people, damage buildings, we respect the opposition right to have their views. The Guyanese public, we will not get involved in shielding or preventing them from listening to the opposition. We have to remain focused on what we're doing. notwithstanding the noise of the opposition. Okay? If the opposition get on board and they are participating, we are not going to stop them from participating.
They were put
in
out
the
of
search, in the search today. Allow me to finish. In the search today, right? We have, as I mentioned, we have fishermen, fisherfolk. We have many private sector involved in the search, and you aware, all of you aware, that the leader of the opposition was also involved in the search. And once the protocols are followed, right, you search, you find bodies, and it's handed over to the Coast Guard. It's an advisory, right? Once they operate and keep in the protocols, I, as leader of this whole incident operation, right, I really don't have a problem with that. Once they follow the protocols, we welcome all assistance, local and foreign. Okay, we got to move on now. Yes, one question, two questions, and we close.
So the state will likely have legal liability to the family of the deceased. Could you say how the state plans to address this? And can you also say what charges are likely to be brought against the captain? And just one more question for Minister Edgell.
No, the question is for me.
Okay, sure. Why in the 6 years that he has been minister, was he not able to decommission this 87-year-old vessel and perhaps facilitate a more modern way of flying the Northwest?
The first question is easy to answer. As I mentioned before, we will have an investigation. We are obligated, according to the laws of Guyana, to have an investigation of this incident. Having done that investigation, right, whatever actions, including disciplinary actions, will be guided by the investigation report and the recommendations therein. Secondly, as it pertains to the vessel, well, the investigation will guide us. The investigation will guide us. As it pertains to the vessel, yes, the vessel is, how much years? 87 years old? Yes, but then we have a history of maintaining the vessel in a seaworthy state. At the time when the vessel started the journey, it was seaworthy, right? Having been maintained in keeping with the maintenance schedule, the last maintenance of the vessel was in 2024, right? The vessel went through maintenance, and the report is available if you want to see what was done.
So if it's seaworthy,
2 engines for the vessel.
If it's seaworthy, how come they weren't able to locate it? Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
2024, an 87-year ship, 2024, the last maintenance was? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's hope that that's the usual time that they have in between maintenance schedules, which it don't really sound too wise, given the fact that it's moving through salty water. And, you know, listen, there's so much to analyze. 87 years, and persons acting like if they don't know by now that is an 87-year-old vessel. So it means that this upgrade might have been years and years to come, because persons in realizing the urgency of what's going on right here. They're saying of what 87, like, you know, you hear the tone and the way that it's being enunciated, like if they don't really know how old this boat is. So that might be why persons are saying one thing so many years ago about replacing, and up to now, the reality is what it is. I'm telling you, big up to all the persons traveling live with us right now on the International Digital Connection. What are your views, Delta9 travelers, so far? We get a chance to analyze so many different connecting parts to this headline. As we suss out what's really taking place right here, what are your views? Call it in. Drop it into the comment section. Let's have some right thinking conversations about these developments before we jump into these headlines coming in from the property of the leader of the opposition. Because as we just heard, it's an open situation, it's open communication, right? Everything is everything good between we and the opposition, allegedly. But while persons is out looking out for persons and trying their best to assist with the search, another kind of search was going on. And these are some of the things that we really gotta
on fabricating.
We really gotta question priority with this one right here as we analyze it. Big up to all the travelers live with us and all of those that are gonna catch this one in the rewind in the future. Let me hear some of these details coming in right now.
Criminal charges against the opposition leader? Are they that threatened? Because of his massive support and influence in the country? Azruddin Mohamed has consistently maintained his innocence in this crime. And he also has called for an independent investigation into the perpetrators. The RSS, an international agency, has said in their reports in 2025 that they have found absolutely no evidence linking him to this crime. As well as the Guyana Police Force, when they had a detailed slideshow clearing him of any involvement whatsoever in this crime. But because he is exposing the massive corruption of the PPP government, of the ministers, of President Irfan Ali's mega farm, $5.5 billion mega farm, more than 150 acres, which he has confirmed is his, which the Attorney General of Guyana is defending as legal. Bodies that are influenced, like the Private Sector Commission, are making statements that the president's farm. I don't know their statement, but they made statements. The world is seeing. The world is seeing. So once again, for those tuning in, yeah, let me flip the camera. For those tuning in, we're here at one of the properties of the opposition leader of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Azruddin Mohamed, while he is currently in Iron Punt on the Essequibo River, conducting his own search and recovery efforts to recover the bodies of our indigenous brothers and sisters who, at this point, nearly 72 hours after, would have sadly drowned. I hope you're not taking any of them jet skis in there, I see you got on your life jacket. This is the dictatorship of the PPP government. I want you to see the scale of the team that the president has sent down here to the opposition leader's property in a time of national grieving. He should be deploying police boats and personnel. Our flags should be at half-mast. Vigils should be held. But no! Deploy the police and boats to search the opposition leader's property while he is searching for the missing bodies. This is the shameless dictatorship government we have here in Guyana.
Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Well, we were calling to Ferry. The reporter asked jail, but resigning.
Yeah.
And the Prime Minister going out, the President got to make that decision. And if the thing on a team, no. That's not the answer to the question.
Hold on. 1 second, right? You know what's funny about it? I wonder if, well, maybe the president might have already came back into the country at that time because maybe he was speaking in the third person because maybe he was the person acting as the president at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, what you were saying, the president has to make that decision. No, that's not it. That's not it. If you are selected and put in a position, and you are not doing what you're supposed to do, and the people are calling on your resignation not to be fired. They say the president needs to fire. You need to resign. It means that your own self needs to step down because you're not performing your duty right. Right? So what is that? That's not the answer to what the report asked. They're just supposed to answer that question, not the prime minister. And so I see no reason to step down and resign because the president and my team support what I'm doing and believe in what I'm doing. Not the prime minister. The president, that's not a decision the president would make unless he says you need to be fired. Then that is the president's decision. You see, that if you want to retire the president, resign, the president cannot stop you. That's your own way. You see, they were saying these guys are tough. You see? And they will say, they think people are stupid. Now, they claim that they test these guys. What is the result of the drug test they did? Is it positive or negative? You ain't even giving no result. You understand? You come on a second conference, stop all the testing now, but you didn't come and say, well, hey, these guys were trying negative of not using marijuana, or they was positive when they was tested. None of them. But you claim that these guys was tested.
But then what about if it might just be in their system, but they weren't using it that day? You understand?
No, man, no. Don't say that about it. Don't make to try to make that, put that there. Don't put it there. These guys are always doing this. They always get footage, they always get text, they always get voicemail, but they never present anything.
I just playing devil advocate in the conversation. You understand? There's always bullets, you know. And there's always some type of conversation to gaslight and most times to divert from certain things.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If they still doing that, that's why I would never believe what they say unless they show me what they say. Meanwhile, you alone. You want to see action. Don't tell me you tell these guys. Bring the results to the public. The public, people on the boat claim this guy was drinking. You're supposed to make sure you tell the blood level for any alcohol during the time. The alcohol disappear so quick. And for the marijuana.
But
and you're supposed to
the point that I was making is that, right, you could get a reading for Mary Jane being in your system, but at the time you might not be intact, might not be inebriated by the said thing. You might not be high at that time. It might just be in your system. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So how are they gonna analyze which is which?
Well, the public say this, you're supposed to still make it presentable to the public. You understand? You're supposed to pass. Remember, this is what passenger said, and this is not one passenger, two passengers. This is a set of people said these guys were listening, they were smoking, and this and that. So when these things comes to the public, as a government entity and the ruling party, the person governing the citizen of Guyana, supposed to make these results public to the citizen of Guyana.
All right.
There's a way of looking to give them closure.
Definitely. Big up yourself, and thanks for calling in. As we analyze some more of what's taking place with the leader of the opposition, persons are definitely calling in, highlighting certain details about A number of things in these headlines that we've been analyzing. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Greetings, my brother. Greetings. Bless the love the family. Bless the love the audience. Albo, big up your damn self, my youth. Yeah, who could stop saying my youth? How they going, my brother?
Great day so far, man. Can't really complain much, but I know it's a sorrow-filled day for most of our brothers and sisters going through this trauma and a lot of these things.
Yeah,
you know, it must bring you into a mode where you just, you know, it's take a little bit to the air out of the day when you hear the amount of persons that are definitely missing right now. More than 100. Right?
Sometimes it's nice
From
to
their
take the
family's
human side
lives.
off for life sometime,
Right?
huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I feel the pain to my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Once again, condolence to all the family that lost their loved ones, you know?
Yeah.
It's a life, one life too many, you understand?
We'll think
Yeah,
about it. We'll
one
think
life
about
too
the
many.
we'll think about the poll question that we had up. You think that it was a right call for the ministers to do a call for the resignation of Mr. Edgel because of what went down with the MV Barima?
My brother, not Edgel alone have to resign. The whole cabinet have to resign, my brother. They call him for no Edgel. I call him from the president right down. The whole cabinet have to resign, my brother. This is one life too many, bro. How long more we go continue this?
Yeah. 20-something plus
How
persons.
long more we go here passing the torch on to this person, the person, when the government is not taking full responsibility of their action, bro? How long more we going to take this?
Real thing.
Now Guyana is in mourning. You are the opposition out touching one place. But you see, Guyana is not bad, you know. Guyana is not bad.
Yeah.
See, this government have no shame, bro.
Do as you please.
CPP government have no shame, bro. Huh? No shame upon PPP government have, bro. No time of national emergency, a national mourning.
Yeah.
You support for science flag after. Yeah? There's too much life you can't get accounted for. You know where the opposition place touching place. Like the Chinese people, I am sick of something wrong with your brain though.
And then when you see it, you can't unsee. You can't say that somebody say it or they just try
Before
to
they
make
use
it up.
resource,
No, you get a chance to
they're
see it
both
yourself.
and resource to go and look for people. They're looking for flipping common goods. The man ain't got no common goods by his place. So they're going there looking for common goods first.
It's crazy.
But Guyanese people gotta wake up. We need to wake up. We need to start rebuilding on this government, bro. We need to start rebuilding on this government. Enough is enough, bro. This struggle is not done.
Until the people decide that enough is enough, that's when it's gonna be enough.
Remember, I tell you one thing, bro. That's when you're going on that ferry, you just pass us something and you can't choose. Remember, I told you that word?
Yeah.
Huh?
You
Now
did
you have
say
the
that.
first conversation,
And then
my
what?
brother.
And then watch. Now they had to add more than 30-something persons to the original tally. Because we're hearing is 170-something now, right?
Bro, it's almost 300 people was on board, my brother.
Wow.
And you know what's the funniest thing about all this thing with Edgel padding up and Guyana to big dog? Yeah? There are video footage from the Harbor Department. Why you bring out that? Why you start there first to come as a big dog and start barking?
I telling you.
Huh? And this man have no shame. This man even come and say, nation, I'm sorry, I'm apologizing to this nation. You know what I mean? For bringing out so reckless counsel for what transpired.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there.
Yeah.
This man even said condolence to the families them that lost their loved ones.
Yeah.
What kind of government minister we have there, bro? Huh?
Far from
People
reality.
just sit down there. I look.
Far from
We gonna be
reality.
careful. We
Big
gonna
up
be careful.
yourself. I don't always got people moved, bro. Moved beyond words. That's how this situation got a lot of people right now. Moved beyond words as we analyze it. How you find all of these persons right here when it's supposed to be all hands on deck? We find 15 plus persons. But Trinidad got sending people and left themselves undone right now when they might have other things that they could be doing with their human resource. Persons coming all the way from France, but we got time. And
The
we
boat
got
was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had to do with the tide. Please be advised.
So for all the Guyanese tuned in now, they were already here. Do we know the time that they came? Officer, what time you guys jump over the fence without permission? What time did you arrive, sir? Yeah, we need to know. Well, you were able to search the entire property before we got here. We don't know if anything was planted. I see nobody wearing gloves. Was anything taken from the property? Well, the second search, the first search, we weren't here.
greetings.
Yeah, my brother. So what is it? Jump over to the mountain?
Well, allegedly, this where it seems like them man bunks and went ahead allegedly and do what I had to do. I telling you, crazy times, right?
What? You could remember the man would jump over the fence and shoot the man in the yard, the gold miner in the yard, and plan to set the thing in the man place. You can remember the story happened? Huh?
No, I don't remember that story. You see the thing that we're looking at right here is that how this is becoming like a norm. You understand? And this is beyond, these type of things are so beyond crazy. I don't know if persons understand just how far left these situations are that we're highlighting day after day after day after day, you know. This is not a normal thing. Even though they're normalizing this kind of behavior, this kind of tension in our country. And we got to ask ourselves, who is ultimately benefiting from our country being in this amount of turmoil? You can't tell me that these officers didn't know that this is going to go on camera and persons are going to say, hey, we don't need these resources for be doing other things. Look at how many persons had to come from helping. As you could see, people come there with life jacket on still when they could be out doing other things, right?
And we Guyanese people sit down there allowing all these things happen.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? All these things happening, and we Guyanese people sit down and allowing this to happen, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now look at them people. How come you could carry money and get them people at the hospital? And take a statement from them people.
You ain't gotta get a bank account. You ain't gotta get bank account. You ain't gotta get nothing. Cash in and book.
Yeah, you give them people. Where you get the money from? Where you get all those money from to go and give them people right away? I think people gotta wake up, bro. We gotta wake up. We slumbering too much, bro.
I'm telling you. Pick up yourself. Yeah, man. Yeah. Persons is highlighting it. It's about that time for persons to really look into what's taking place. People collecting funds, which they should. But we just comparing to what's going on with the cash grant process and all the hurdles and hoops that persons are having to go through for that same 100,000. Right? So it took a disaster for persons to get money faster? I hope not. I hope it didn't take a disaster for getting money faster. Let me analyze some of these details coming in from this misuse of human resource. My views in this particular aspect is that they could be out doing other things. I don't know where y'all think, Delta9 travelers. Call it in, drop it into the comment section. Let me look at what's going on right here.
It came to Mohammed's enterprise with more than 20 police and SOCU officers, with a drug sniffer dog. This is the level of persecution in Guyana against the opposition leader. No, it's really sad, because should be a time of grieving. They came on Indian Arrival Day.
Presently, we found a baby girl dead. We found her about 20 miles from where the vessel went down, the MV Barima. Mixed race, average between 2 years to 3 years, and also a pregnant woman. The bodies, we just handed over the bodies to the Coast Guard at the Pomeroon River mouth, and they will be carrying the bodies to charity, so the families can go to charity to identify the bodies. And also other boats found 6 more bodies, so a total of 8 bodies will be heading to charity for this morning, a total of 8 bodies. Thank you. And the search and rescue, we will continue for the remainder of the day, and if possible tomorrow.
Could you imagine you out on the water top, doing all that you can to assist in a search and rescue mission, because an 87-year-old vessel was traversing through treacherous terrain. Iron Punt, known for carrying down vessels, right? We got persons highlighting these details throughout this presentation about the overload, about the area that the boat was in. So many things going on, but guess what? With all of that, they find time to go and do things like this. What sense that really make?
To confiscate his personal firearms. Remember that. It was a Sunday morning.
Watch the amount of people.
We need to recover all the bodies, and we need to know the right number, right? The right number of how many of her indigenous brothers and sisters died.
Pierre, one of our insightful moderators, is saying the president of Guyana has made the Guyana police his personal thugs, allegedly, to harass the primary opposition leader. I'm telling you, we are seen on the screen right there, Delta9 travelers. Big up to all of those that are a part of this live presentation. Everybody that's going to catch this live in the rewind in the future, take a couple of seconds and make sure that you would have thumbs up the live so that persons will get a chance to see everything that was presented right here, hearing all the accounts coming from persons that were actually a part of this traumatic situation that, from a lot of Guyanese views and persons around the world, could have been prevented, given the fact that this vessel was 87 years. Persons are saying, listen, this vessel shouldn't even be in the service right now. It should be pretty much pulling cargo, if anything at all. And we hear the very minister himself in Parliament highlight some of these details already. I'm telling you.
Mr. Chairman, the new vessel that is expected to come on stream would be the MV Malaysia, which is en route to Guyana. It has left Port Calcutta and it's coming to Guyana.
3 years ago, there's 3 years now the boat is headed from that. Listen, I don't know how long it would usually take, but I don't think it's going to take that long. I don't think it's going to take 36 plus months, allegedly. We all think about what we've seen right here, Delta9 travelers. Drop it in the comment section and call it in. I'm telling you, these details, these updates, when you analyze it, when you really and truly analyze it, you really got to question what's really going on with persons in these positions of power.
The boat was not overloaded by passengers or by cargo. There was no engine problem or any mechanical problem. Even the survivors who made videos from the hospital, they're telling you what happened. And it had nothing to do with overload and boat taken in water. It had to do with the tide. Please be advised that the MV Barima is licensed to carry 284 tons of cargo. The cargo manifest shows that we had 268 tons, way below the cargo load.
Mr. Modest, can you tell me what occurred?
Yesterday we went on the boat and they overloaded the boat, right? Top middle and the bottom, ram it stopped. And water get in the hatch and sink the boat. And the boat ended up turning. Before we left, they was trying to get the boat off the sandbank because they parked the boat inside. And it's stuck up in the mud. And they had about 3/4 to an hour trying to get it off. And when they get it off, it started walking from one engine and they still go with it. They stop. You got the mechanic man walking in the engine and still forcing the boat to go. I feel the boat must be black up somewhere or something because, right? I was sitting in the hammock and I saw the boat go like this. And then after, I wait, and when it roll over, watching it going back like this, but they keep going over. So what I did, I waited till when it raised up and I plunged. And the wave shy me back in the boat. So I had to just lose my bag and start fighting to catch it up. I catch it up, it sent me back again. 2 times I get through back. But I just relax, catch myself and start paddling and I come up top. When I come up and I see the lights, I start praise forward and I start swimming and hold on from 2 Venelin, 2 long Venelin, 4, hold on under, then I watch to see a bottle, hold on in the bottle, and hold on in the gas bottle and hold the 2 together.
A natural way to stay ready, baby. Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C. The ultimate male supplement. Men's total wellness formula. Packed with essential nutrients for men's health. She'll call you Mr. C.
100% wild-crafted sea moss. Only the best. Cause you deserve nothing less. 8 Butterfly.
I got about 4.
Yep. That's the account coming in from persons that were a part of this situation. Who telling the truth? Who feeling the squeeze? Most times, The regular people on the street like you and me, the regular everyday people, right? You hear the accounts of the mother from one family, 7 children gone. You hear the accounts coming in from 10 children, can't find the father. So many other family losing multiple people at the same time. What's going to be the response, the real response to this? Is this going to be a week of videos, a week of person saying and saying and saying and saying, and then next thing you know, be back to more the same? Are we going to realize that at this point, we, the ones that are old enough, the right thinking adults, right, are the ones, when we going to realize that we are the ones that can make this change, buddy? It's not to say, oh, even if the right people were in place, the country can't find the funds, right? We're in a country that right now finding it hard to deal with certain infrastructural developments. Last thing I hear, there's so much migrants coming into the country that on Sundays and now a lot of the weekdays, certain places are looking completely different. So what's going on? When you're hearing that a vessel is being replaced for 30-something months, and then 100+ persons rising power to them and our everlasting energy and condolences to the family and loved ones, gotta end up like this. And then when persons say people should resign, people say, hello, you don't get to decide that. There's a president here. Well, isn't the president elected by the same people? Doesn't the president get this power from the people? The same people that is saying, listen, something got to be done about this. Who is going to be held accountable? Don't come and tell me what, oh, this one was doing that, the one was doing that. How much tonnage was really on this vessel? When was the last time it was really maintained? Was the area that it was going through? Was there communication between the vessel and some type of Coast Guard service that could have helped them to navigate that treacherous area, Iron Punt? We all think about this, Delta9 travelers. There's so many things that we can analyze. So many things about this. Greetings, you're on to Delta9 Media Live.
Yeah, bro. It's so unpeaceful to know that we get up right there, only man. Yeah? We're supposed to know the back and front of Guyana, and he can't know his foot from yard. Yeah? Imagine people asking me some basic question and he can't answer me, brother.
Can't or won't?
You know what I mean? Huh?
Can't or won't? I think it's
more. It's not a thing more than this. He can't answer it. You don't go to university, you have to answer some basic questions people are asking you, bro.
That's why I said he's choosing to not answer the question.
As president, bro.
That's why I said he might be choosing to not answer the question.
Before you come and talk to the nation, you come and read into the nation. You see yourself, these people backward more than forward, bro. It's not time for you to come and read to the nation. They just to show these people heartless, brother. These people are talking from the heart. There's no expression of hard things. And they just come in with
with all of the maintenance on this vessel, right? How come the vessel went down And then it took so long for them to say, hey, we located it. Where was the beacon that was supposed to be a part of this vessel so that it could be located as it traversed the area that it usually would traverse? Because it's a 24-hour or more voyage, right? So if it's being maintained correctly, then it should have some way for us to communicate and know exactly where this vessel is located.
It's supposed to carry a tracer, bro.
Yes.
That if water touches, it's one damage. It's supposed to still blinking.
And
it's supposed to carry that tracker, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So how come it took so long for it to be located and all of it? Listen, man.
Why up to now them people know about Titanic then? Huh? Up to now them people carry your shoulder side Titanic go down, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And look at the thing, bro, Delta. The question being asked, did you seek international help? Oh, yes, but not at this time. We don't want them at this time. You see, Guyanese, how we so backward more than we forward, bro. A national disaster like this, and you denying help?
At this time is when you need it, when the evidence is still fresh and persons can still identify what's really going on, you know?
And you know, where's the alarming thing of the people ask him, what kind of help do you deny at this time? Oh, the people are offering divers and they're offering help and search. The people ask him, so how much divers do you have? Oh, 3. Exxon Mobile 2 and then 1 from the Guyana Defense Force. How that would be adequate enough for 100 and something people you're looking for, bro?
Can be. That means that they plan on releasing the information. Yeah, that means they plan on releasing the information very slowly, if at all, because if you have all of them persons there, how long would it take? Listen.
No, you're looking for bringing international help. You're 48 hours gone already, bro. You know, Guyanese people backward more than we forward, and we sit down there as a nation, loving this PVP government for 68 hour life in this country, bro. Yeah?
Acting like we got spare life, we can just let it do what they want. People acting like they get spare life so they can let it do what they want, and you know, the next one we can use it how we want to use it. It's crazy.
Be sorry, bro. And you know the part of what me, bro, more than nothing else, how they praise each minister. They didn't even understand to the Guyanese people what's going to start and find all these people. You realize that? They're praising the minister was out there, and the minister giving counsel, and the minister this, and the praising the minister, and the president is aware, and the president, oh, you are president, we president, the government is with you. And not even, and look now, they rescue. Did any minister go in the water and pull anybody by hand and say, come here, I found this person? They came in their rescue. Oh, they rescue 6 to 7 people. Bro, you see, the signal that say he gave out at after 11. When the man say he get the call to go and search from Cameroon after 12. When the man say that they get help 6 hours after 4 something in the morning, bro.
Look at the time gap. It's crazy.
I'm showing you.
Yeah.
And these people saying they're putting system in place and they're thanking their ministers. And then these people sit down there and just show back the government nice. The government is hard for the citizens.
Well, let's hope at this time persons wake up to what's really going on. Pick up yourself, King. Thanks for calling in.
We there in a coma. We there in a coma, bro. We not going to wake up. We still sleeping. We there in a coma. I still love me, brother.
Love you, time. I'm telling you, so many details to analyze about this. Big up to all the travelers, every person that's a part of the live right now, everybody that's going to catch this live in the rewind in the future. Thanks for tuning in and for making this live presentation what it is, right? Very important that we advocate for one another in these times. Very important that we analyze the real headlines coming in from the real persons that are affected. Because we know that gaslighting is a thing that certain persons love to partake in. Right? Come out and boldly claim this and claim that. When you could clearly see it's all about what people do nowadays. Because watch, it's an open door conversation, but yet persons running in a place when they know you're there somewhere else and you can't come too fast to defend what's going on. People saying one thing, minister saying something else. Who you gonna believe? Listen, big up to all the travelers right now, live with us. Who is in the comment section right now? Andrew, thanks for being a part of the live. Andrew saying, Delta, why don't Guyanese protest? I fed up. I telling you, a lot of persons are feeling the same way. PA, thanks for being a moderator right here on Delta9 Media. Plus, a very much needed, insightful, frequent traveler. Always got the insights in the comment section. Always giving us some of those comments that, listen, take the altitude to a whole different level. Carlisle, big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in and being a moderator as well on this live presentation. Everybody that's a part of the live right now, thanks for being a part of this presentation, Delta9 Travelers. Marcia, Hysen, Rasta Empress, every single person, all the frequent travelers, all the new travelers, one love. I'll catch you in the next presentation, the next international digital connection, or guess what? In the next pre-recorded update that we're going to definitely put up, because there's so many updates coming in on this headline and a number of other headlines. We got so many other things that we were supposed to highlight right here on this presentation. More than likely, there's going to be a number of uploads. Look out for the uploads in the AM. Look out for the uploads in the PM as well. And if you're not already a part of our other YouTube channels, let me put them up on the screen so that you can partake in everything that we got going on right now on Gnosis Focus. If you're looking to take the conversation to a different altitude, this is just the beginning. On the Gnosis Focus channel, we have conversations about everything going on behind the veil. This is the conversation about the veil. Remember, from the darkness come the light. So on Gnosis Focus is the conversation about everything that comes before. Right? A lot of esoterics, a lot of conversation, a lot of scholarship, a lot of books, thousands of books shared on that platform. So much insights into so much stuff. So check it out. The barcode is on the screen right now. And we're building up Delta9 Media No Filter. We're building the subscription count over there to do a whole different kind of presentation, live content, and different types of content on there as well. So join us as we are in the early stages on that platform right there. One love every single time. I'll catch you in the next one. The flight has landed, Delta9.